Padre reliever Greg Harris brushes up in his cow milking this prior to Saturday night's Padres game in Cincinnati. The same two teams would meet on Sunday afternoon. The Padres looking for the four-game sweep against the Reds. And in the top of the fourth, with the Reds leading 1-0, the Padres try to tie things up. Jack Clark with the single to left. However, Billy Hatcher comes up throwing, and he nails Gary Templeton trying to score. But in the top of the fourth, the Padres would take the lead as Joe Carter with his two-run double. And this would score Tony Gwynn and then Clark. And San Diego with a 2-1 lead. Carter would drive in 12 RBIs in this four-game series. In the bottom of the fourth, however, Hal Morris would regain the lead for Cincinnati as he hits his fourth home run of the year. The two-run blast comes off Calvin Schiraldi, the San Diego starter, and the Reds take a 3-2 lead. Then in the bottom of the sixth, some nice defense turned in by shortstop Gary Templeton of San Diego, who leaps high to grab this Jeff Reed line drive. In the bottom of the seventh, Billy Hatcher hits his second home run in 2 days and his fourth of the year. The solo blast coming off Schiraldi gives Cincinnati a 5-2 lead, and they'd go on to win it by the final of 6-2. Jose Rijo goes the distance, striking out 6 Padres, including Mike Pagliarulo, to end this one, as Rijo ups his record to 8-4. Calvin Schiraldi, the loser, falls to 3-4, and the Reds salvage the final game of the four-game set.
Sunday afternoon, the fans dancing outside of County Stadium before the Milwaukee Brewers-Chicago White Sox game. Brewers have lost 7 in a row. Top of the first inning, Vaughn Calderon with a double to left center field that scores Phil Bradley, RBI 58, 1-0 Chicago. Tied at 1, top of the third inning, Darrell Hamilton will make a nice play on this Phil Bradley drive to left center field. Hamilton will make the leaping catch at the wall for the out. A nice effort by Darrell Hamilton of the Milwaukee Brewers. And it's tied up at 1 after 3. Top of the fourth, Lance Johnson will slap a 2-out, 2-run base hit to center field. Calderon and Sammy Sosa score 3-1 White Sox. Johnson now has 39 RBIs, 21 coming with 2 outs. Brewer Bill Spires will just stand outside the batter's box and makes a funny roll of the tongue top of the 7th inning. An usher here sits and watches the game, fixes his uniform. Johnson, with nobody out this time, will hit a gapper that rolls to the wall in left center field. Ron Karkovice will score RBI 40 for Johnson, his third of the ball game. He slides into third base with his 4th triple of the year, 4-1 White Sox. They add 2 more runs, and it's 6-1 after 6.5 innings. That would be the final score as Jack McDowell will go the whole distance. He gets Greg Brock to fly out to end the ball game. The White Sox win 6-1. McDowell ups his record to 7-6. Powell drops to 0-3. As the White Sox sweep a 5-game series from the Brewers. It's the first time the Brewers have ever lost a 5-game series at home. Milwaukee now has lost 8 games, all at home, as the Chicago White Sox win 6-1.
Ball action as former New York Mets manager Joe Torre trying to guide the St. Louis Cardinals to a victory on Sunday afternoon. The Mets come into today's action tied for first place atop the National League East. In the bottom of the first inning, that's Ozzie Smith singling into right field. Mill Thompson scores, and the Cards are on top by a score of 1-0. In the top of the second inning, Tim Tuff with a smash to third base. Terry Pendleton with the stop, the spin, and the throw to first for the nice 5-3 putout. Then in the bottom of the second inning, the Cards will add to their lead. Tom Pagnozzi comes up and singles into right field. Rex Huddler scores from second base, and the Cards are on top by a score of 2-0. They continue to add to that lead in the bottom of the third inning. Terry Pendleton comes up and hits a 2-run double to left field. Ozzie Smith and Willie McGee both score, RBIs number 54 and 55. And the Cards are in front by a score of 4-0. And still in the bottom of the third inning, a pass ball on the part of Alex Trevino will bring home Terry Pendleton. And the Cards lead at 5-0. John Tudor pitched a fine ball game today as he went 8 innings, allowing just 2 runs while striking out 6 batters. Here in the top of the 6th inning, he strikes out Darryl Strawberry looking to end the 6th inning. Then the bottom of the 6th inning, with St. Louis up 6-0, Willie McGee singles home Ozzie Smith. The Cards lead at 7-0. They go on to win it by a score of 8-3. Tudor with the win, his record now 11-3. Fernandez takes the loss, his record drops to 7-8. The Mets and Pirates remain tied atop the National League East. Windy day in the Windy City at Wrigley Field this afternoon. The wind is blowing in as the Cubs play host to the Montreal Expos. Pick up action at the top of the first inning. Tim Wallach grounds into the 4-6-3 double play. Delino DeShields scores. and the Expos lead it by a score of 1-0. This Cub fan showing the futuristic look of the Chicago Cubs, while this lady still feeling the effects of Saturday night. We jump all the way to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mark Grace comes up and he doubles down the first base line. Jerome Walton scores, RBI number 41 for Grace, and the game is tied up at 1 apiece. The very next pitch, Andre Dawson will come up, and Dawson will triple off the top of the left field wall. And if you look very closely, you can see it will hit off one of the Cub fans' glove as the ball goes back down onto the field. Mark Gray scores, RBI number 70 for Dawson, and the Chicago Cubs take a 2-1 lead. If you look very closely, it hits off one of the Cub fans' glove, and it falls down onto the field. Don Zimmer going out there as this Cub fan showing where it hit off his glove, and if we look very closely, you can see it was a bad call. Then the bottom of the 7th inning, Sean Dunston on third base will try to steal home, but Mike Fitzgerald steps out in front of home plate, which is ruled catcher's interference as Dunston is allowed to score, and the Cubs score their final run as they win it by a score of 3-1. Greg Maddux with the win, his record now 9-9. Dennis Oil Can Boyd takes a loss, his record drops to 6-4. So once again, the Cubs win it 3-1.
Jim Leland's Pirates come into Sunday afternoon's game in Philadelphia in a first-place tie with the Mets. And on the top of the first, Sid Bream gets the Bucks off to a quick start as he would double to left center field, and this would score Jay Bell and Andy Van Slyke. And then an error by center fielder Len Dykstra would enable Bream to go to third and Barry Bonds to come in to score 3-0 Pirates. But in the bottom of the first, John Kruk goes the other way for this double off the left field fence. Not played very well by the left fielder Bonds, as 2 runners come in to score, Darren Dalton and Dale Murphy, and Philadelphia with a 3-2 lead. Then in the top of the third, Ken Howell with a pickoff try at first base. Andy Van Slyke gets back in safely. However, he injures his foot on the play, and he would leave the game in the top of the third. Still in action in the top of the third, it would be catcher Mike LaValliere, who would double to left center field, and this would score Bonds and Bream, and it's 5-2 Pirates against Phillies starter Ken Howell. But the Phillies would come back to make it 5-4, and then in the bottom of the 5th, it would be Dickie Thon at the plate, and Thon would deliver this single to left field off reliever Scott Ruskin, and this scores Murphy to tie the game at 5 apiece. And then the big blow in the bottom of the 6th, Von Hayes would connect for this 2-run home run. This also surrendered by Ruskin. And the 2-run blast is Hayes' 12th of the year, and Philadelphia with a 7-5 lead. The teams would exchange runs, and in the top of the 9th, the Pirates have 2 runners on base. The tying run is on first, and Joe Baver would face Barry Bonds, and Baver would strike out Bonds to notch his 11th save, and the Phillies win by the final of 8-6. Don Carmen, the winner, is 5-0. Ruskin, the loser, falls to 2-2. The Pirates remain tied with the Mets for first.
We'll bounce into Fenway Park on Sunday afternoon along with that groundskeeper as the Red Sox, who have won 6 in a row, play the Detroit Tigers. Top of the 4th inning, Tim Nearing will bobble Lloyd Mosby's ground ball. Then he'll drop Jody Reed's flip to second base, and Mosby is again a safe at second. 1 out and bases full for Dave Bergman. He gets a 2-run base hit to right field. Larry Sheets and Mosby come in to score. Ward goes to third. It's 2-0 Detroit. RBIs 22 and 23 for Bergman. Chet Lemon will then hit a double down the right field line by Carlos Quintana at first. Ward comes in to score RBI 21 for Lemon. 3-0 Detroit. Bottom of the 4th inning, Dwight Evans with a base hit to left field. Bounces off of the stands. Mike Greenwald scores RBI 48 for Evans. 3-1 Detroit. Bottom of the 5th inning, Dan Petrie will throw the heat by Naring for his 5th strikeout on the day. He lasted 7 2/3 innings, giving up only 2 runs and striking out 5. Bottom of the 7th inning now, Lloyd Mosby will make the play of the game. Dwight Evans with the looper to shallow center field. The long run for Mosby, who will reach out to his side with the sliding catch for the out. We'll take one more look at Lloyd Mosby's fine play to rob Dwight Evans of a base hit. Top of the 9th inning, 4-2 Detroit. John Shelby hits a pinch hit 3-run homer into the bullpen in right field. Number 3 for Shelby. 7-2 Red Sox lose to the Tigers. Dan Petrie, the winner, he's 9-7. Boddicker, the loser, he's 11-7. It's the first win at Fenway Park for the Tigers since June 6, 1989.
Yankee Stadium in New York as it's family day, and you are looking at the young slugger Matthew Balboni as he hits one, and He loses his way to first base, but proud Papa Steve Balboni guides him on his way. As for the game itself, we pick up action in the top of the third inning. Felix Vermeen grounds into an inning-ending 1-6-3 double play. Kevin Maas with the nice scoop and the stretch to complete the double play. In the bottom of the fourth inning, Jim Leyritz will flare one out into left center field. Kevin Maas will score, RBI number 13 for Leyritz, and the Yankees go up 1-0. Then after a balk by Cleveland starter Mike Walker to make it 2-0, Bob Guerin comes up and hits a single into left field, delivering home Leyritz, RBI number 25 for Guerin, and the Yankees led by a score of 3-0 after 4 innings. In the top of the fifth inning, Chris James will step up to the plate, and he will smack a solo home run to left field. Number 7 for James, RBI number 42, and the Yankee lead is cut to 3-1. Then the top of the eighth inning, with New York up by a score of 3-2, Candy Maldonado comes up, and Maldonado will single into left field, delivering home Alex Cole, RBI number 61 for Maldonado, and this game will be tied up at 3 apiece. But the Yankees in the bottom of the ninth inning will come up with some heroics on the part of Roberto Kelly, as we'll listen to the call of Dwayne Statz and Tony Kubek, the New York Yankee announcers.
He's leaning. Nope.
And a fly ball into center field, sending Cole back. That ball is carrying and is caught by Cole. Wow. Did he catch it? Or
No, it's a
no,
home
he
run.
didn't catch it.
Home run.
It's a home run. Roberto Kelly has hit one out as Cole went back, appeared to catch the ball, but came up empty.
Greg Cadaret picks up the win, his record now 4-4. Steve Olin takes the loss, his record drops to 1-3. As once again the Yankees win it 5-3.